IVM.
Banking at your convenience, actually, is what I'm going to talk about. But I'll begin with the beginning, which is long ago, I thought my bank was good. Now, because Jupiter has just landed on Earth on my phone and changed my entire life, Jupiter is the digital banking app you've been waiting for. When I say you, I mean everybody collectively. I point my finger at the screen and say, you've been waiting for. No pesky paperwork, no endless lines, just create an account in just a couple of taps. Banking at your convenience, not the banks. Plus, the app offers fantastic rewards. In fact, where the hell has Jupiter been the whole time? Visit the Jupiter.money website to find out more. Download the Jupiter app on Android and iOS to get started.
कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen yaar, don't be so conservative.
Welcome to Cyrus Says, powered by Jupiter, a banking app that lets you master your money. That's also my biopic. I'm going to call it exactly that. A short version will be Gitanjali. But before we go any further, I was thinking, what is the one thing that really irritates me about banks? I mean, there are 12. I'll go with just one for today. And that's this whole reward point system. Reward. I can't even see it. I hate it so much. Reward point system. You just think about it. When you want the reward points, they're never available. Otherwise, you're in a meeting with 10 important people and suddenly you get 10,000 reward points on your phone which you don't want to understand. But when you really need them, when you have to buy a sari for your mother-in-law from a second-hand discount store, and you need those few extra reward points to get the right size, so consumer items are not easy to get these days. Second-hand, taken off a person while they are not even noticing, for example. At that point, where are the bloody reward points? They're never available. You can't find them. It's all need-based, I think. And these reward points, to access them when you don't know where they are, accessing them is another whole culture. You need to get a tutor for that. So listen to me. I've had enough of all this. Banks have to make the process more easy. The process in doing anything with a bank is just taking far too much time, too much stress, too much anxiety. It's almost as bad as living in Valkeshwar while VIP movement goes up and down, as it did on the 1st of May, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't you think that if everyone around you is getting smart, you better be smarter? Hey there, I'm the traveling professor Siddharth Deshmukh and I'm back with season 2 of my podcast to make you smarter. Smarter with Sid. What's this season's focus about? Well, it's about 10-minute nuggets that will make you stand out at work. It's time to go from smart to smarter. Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday and become smarter with Sid.
Let's get on with the show. We've got actually no one in the studio. We got Shreyas in the studio. For poor guy, we fooled him. We told him come. We'll all have a good meeting and all that.
Shreyas has moved into the studio, so that's also his house now.
Oh, Shreyas.
Yeah. Very good house. The only problem is people sometimes use the bathroom and take too long. Otherwise, the house is great.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
And sometimes they keep the toilet seat up and all. Like Shreyas is like, no, it has to be down.
This feels like four friends decided to have a plan, and then the one friend is there and they're all like, let's get on the call actually. You hang out there, which is fine.
But I'm telling you the good news. You're letting me speak. The good news is you get 25,000 reward points now just for coming to the studio. Yes, you can encash them on Tuesday. Yes. We won't tell you which Tuesday, but it is a Tuesday coming soon.
But and this is what every 5,000 reward points gets you one glass of water. And you can't put a price on that.
Tepid, room temperature. Please don't ask for cold and all. This IVM is, we are pulling through, but we've not hit the big time. No Elon Musk-like figure here. Let's mention, Sriraam, you're where now? I'm confused because, you've become like a tourist. Are you in Gurgaon, back in Bombay?
Well, in Gurgaon itself still. I still haven't got my visa.
But you're superb. No, I'm not ignoring your joke. I'm liking it. But I'm just pointing out that you've gone and framed yourself next to a brown door, which looks like any part of India, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. I mean, who can call your bluff? Honestly. I'm in Gurgaon, and for proof.
Yes.
Actually, I would have bought if Sriraam said I'm out of the country also.
He could have been Japan, man.
Yeah, could have been anywhere.
Yeah.
That's a good bit. Every time you should be a different continent. I'm in a different.
But in the same door, the same door. Because his reward point system being such that he gets to go to the same furniture. Yeah.
So it's a portal. It feels like it's a portal. Every time you come from the door, you are somewhere new. That's nice.
But isn't it amazing?
Matrix 2.
No, but your point is great that he's got the portal. But what happens to his life? Because he gets to go to places, but shouldn't it be like getting better and better? The fact that he can do this, but no. But today the hair is looking much better. The hair.
You don't know what's on the other side of the camera. I wouldn't want to guess. Also, I feel that keeps changing. And,
I would say without being politically incorrect, a midget, a really short person, because the frame is upwards. So that person is like struggling to find him. It's like Hitler was the first to use that. I think
the top
Goebbels and
angle
all
camera?
insisted the top, looking down, giving that mammoth-like feel. It's very psychological. The idea of trying to.
It's
Putin
interesting
does
you
it,
mentioned
for
that,
example.
Cyrus, because nowadays it's only used by Instagram influencers, and in my book they are worse than Hitler.
Of course they are. If they had a country which would follow them, God knows what those monkeys would do. You already have 10,000 people who listen to everything they say.
It's like if it were Hitler and everyone were a megalomaniac,
Yeah, but that was his idea. One day, I have a dream with the German accent. I have a dream. I know. Wrong speech. Politically incorrect as you can get.
Was this before Hitler said on the stroke of the midnight hour when the whole world sleeps?
See, I went with America. See, America's neutral. I would not bring anything home. See, Sriraam, this is difference. This is difference between being shot on stage and being suspended. Be very careful. Stay where you are. Shreyas, take that bottle off, send him somewhere far away. Go to Norway where you should be relatively safe for now.
But what I was motivated by most was when he said, yes, we can. I was like, after that, we can.
Yeah, Hitler, that's
yeah. What about Weenie, Weedy, Weechi? Let's give him that as well. Yeah, you know that's हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन. Early Hitler.
Yes.
Also, good morning. You think Hitler ever said good morning, good evening?
Yeah. He also said that other thing. तुम मुझे खून दो, मैं तुम्हें.
No, I told you.
No, that's
good.
not
Don't be specific. No. Throw this comedian out.
I'm the only one
represent India.
I'm the only one at studio, Sriraam. People will come here trying to beat you and it'll just be me.
Hey, Shreyas, congratulations for coming from Aurangabad at a short notice like that. You attended Rajbhai's rally yesterday to shut the loudspeakers and all that. How did that go?
Yes, I did. They gave me an opening act, but they were like, mics will be off because we want to keep the sound down. Yes, that's that then.
Yeah, that's true. They can't be hypocritical. Na? Yeah, तो comedy को encourage करता है हम लोग, but softly.
But I did randomly see Uddhav Thackeray swearing in ceremony like a few year and a half ago.
Don't say randomly. You have a great interest in Maharashtra politics.
He was swearing in the ceremony.
Rajya Sabha seat one day.
What, Uddhav Thackeray was swearing in the ceremony?
Yes.
Swearing in ceremony. Okay.
Antariksh, there will be some people at your door in a few hours. This is very
Antariksh, there are 4 comedians
going
for it now.
Okay, let's be realistic.
Big time. Let's
wait.
now.
Let's be realistic. Politicians swear, man. Of course they swear. We know for a fact that they swear. How is that like a controversial opinion?
I don't know. You just decided to take it on a tangent, so we'll stay with your swearing philosophy.
Okay.
When you're done, tell me.
Guys, the good thing about us being so controversial is that soon
we are not only your
all
controversial.
Podcasts.
Only you are going giving it to specific Indian figures. None of us did that.
I never took any names, Cyrus.
You don't have to take names. It's called Google. Even a moron says, "Ye kisne bola, uncle?" And tuck. Next thing they know, you and your loudspeaker from Gurgaon will be removed.
The good thing is though that because there's like power cuts across the country, all podcasts will be stipulated to 10 minutes max. So that'll be the future.
The happiest will be us. You think we like this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Sunny Cyrus, you just have to do the rant. Sunny Cyrus, you just have to do the rant. I hate banks. They're the worst. I'd rather ask money from my parents. Anyways, that's the end of the podcast.
But that could be the future. But Silverie, why are you not in the studio? You're the anchor. You should be attending. You're an employee. Here's the question.
Cyrus, you're also not in the studio. So I think...
But I'm a freelancer.
So I was like... Fair. Freelancer, he said. He just said freelancer.
I'm a freelancer. I mean, more free than lancer, but you know what I mean.
So, I don't know. I just got up late and I was like, okay, it's Monday. It's Cyrus also gonna be home.
How much more driven can you be here? It's Monday. I got up late.
Only a little more. Only a little more driven. Is what I
Okay, fair enough. It's a podcast. It's fine.
I do like the preparedness of this. That for this 10 a.m. podcast, we all got topics at 9:30 a.m.
Man. I think you gotta be on your feet, dude. You gotta be on your feet, of course.
It's
come on.
Updated news. That's why.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. And more importantly, Gaurav is on your side. Gaurav Pilania says, Shreyas, have you been compensated for your appearance on Cock and Bull? What about the invoices you raised? Which goes back a few episodes.
Yeah.
I know. I really appreciate it, Gaurav. But yes, they have been. But this 25.
I thought it's the reward point system again, where it would be
very funny So Shreyas's invoices have been cleared, but it'd be very funny if he came on every episode and someone asked him that question. He's like, "No, still not cleared. What is this?" And just makes like a big scene out of it,
Hey,
even though it's not.
Silverie, now they're comparing you to Arjun in Mahabharata. Your dedication and drive for the show.
Oh, wow.
What does that make Cyrus?
I leave it, all expert controversial points I leave to my good friend in Gurgaon. Sir, please take it
Yeah.
further. What is the analogy you're
Anyways,
drawing?
Cyrus, if Antariksh is Arjun, then what does that make you?
Vyas,
Krishna.
the writer.
Krishna, no.
I thought I evaded that one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Shit, sorry.
Then in the words
Right.
of Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, hurry up and get on with the show.
Although I think
Okay, cool.
I just stumbled across a great podcast for IBM. Do a recreation of the Bhagavad Gita, but in podcast form.
Okay, sponsors are just
That
jumping
would
out of
be,
the.
yeah.
I mean, I have to take the phone right
No,
now.
but actually
People are going mad.
that could possibly do well. Yeah, I think. I think
Relatively,
there's enough
everything
people
will
who
do
want this.
well against what we set up.
No,
It's no
the
worry.
catch is though it's been recreated by the four of us. So suddenly,
Yeah, my problem
Oh
is,
yeah, bestseller.
Shreyas, you might help here because we have about 1,000 voices. Actually, if you look at it, over 1,000 voices. If you're doing it in terms of first person, second person, all that, how
Yeah.
do we recreate 1,000 voices, including soldiers and army who have one
Yeah.
word each? They have to be distinctly different.
yes.
This is a huge epic. In many ways, the logistics are nightmarish. Just remember that.
I think
And
each person
Sriram
gets to do like
justified
5
his name.
voices. I think each person gets to do at least 5 voices.
Wrong
in
epic.
Bhagavad
Shavik, have you learned nothing?
Gita.
No, they're
I
doing
think-
a
oh, wrong.
crossover next. They're doing a crossover next year.
No,
Ramayana,
guys.
Mahabharata.
Now
It's
listen,
going to be
let's
big.
stop here.
What?
Yeah.
Let's go off the epics if you don't mind.
Okay, let's
Okay, now
All
that
right,
you
let's
brought
get to
it
the
up.
topics.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Topics. The first topic is coming out of United States. There's a dude who has 47 children. Okay,
Yes.
he has 47 children.
He's not even intermediate
about
in
to have-
India. What is this?
No. Okay. He's a sperm donor. Okay, he's a sperm donor. He has 47 children that
Ayushman. Oh.
that he knows of. Yeah, Ayushman. Yeah, like from Wiki Donor. He has 10 more in the works.
Ayushman from MTV,
Yeah.
Antariksh. Come on.
Coming up. Yeah.
From MTV Roadies. Give it the full credit. You're looking at Mahabharata, you're looking at epics, your historical perspective. Go all the way in.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
specific. I want to tell you
we don't know,
that we who worked
Yeah.
at MTV have no face to show society. But when we saw MTV Roadies, we were elevated. Okay, it's like friends versus other friends. Just remember
Yeah.
there is a distinct difference. Sorry, go on.
So this dude is 30 years old. He has 47 children. Okay,
Wow.
and about 10 more are coming.
Who pays?
Apparently,
Sorry to bring that up,
apparently
but
he just
He gets
tells women,
paid, right?
so he started it on his Instagram where he would put out saying, "Ke, hey, whoever wants a sperm donor,
he really
you can
puts out.
contact me
Yeah.
on Instagram, and I will do it for free." He started his service for free. Okay, and women start contacting him. After the first few successful attempts, he started getting way more calls or way more DMs on Instagram, and so his business.
So you got
started
female versions
more
of
and
me.
more and more.
Initially, they were female versions of me, the cheap women. Who were like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's free. Let's go for it. I was
Free.
thinking, now he's moved it up a bit. Huh.
But I think after proving that his men are
Virility
very
is
strong,
great.
yeah, virility
Yeah.
is very strong. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So then
But
after
I
I start
like,
getting more and more.
your version better now. It's
Yeah.
funnier.
His men.
His little men, were
His
fighting
little men.
hard.
Yes, very right. So yes,
No, but that's true. It is
the
that.
problem is
Oh.
the problem though, according to him, is that now because of this lifestyle choice of mine, I'm finding it difficult to date women in general because all the women who DM him are like, hey, I just want this. I don't want to be in a relationship. And like now
He
it's
knows what it
difficult
feels like to
yeah.
be a man. Oh, sorry. So,
Yeah. So
what
he's having a little bit of a problem.
He can't get into a romantic
Yeah.
liaison, is what you're saying.
He's not
But he
able to.
gets
Like he
lots of
wants
sex.
to. He's looking for someone. He's looking for someone who
Shreyas,
he can
this is
spend
the
the rest of his
first
life.
case of mental madness in the history of malehood. The guy is getting as much sex as he wants, but he wants romance.
No, but he's not getting sex. He's a sperm
He
donor.
is.
Now it
He's-
hasn't
yeah.
mentioned.
but now he
He's-
wants.
Cyrus,
It's
he's
a
getting
20
the
I-
worst
I-
by-
second.
Cyrus,
No,
he's
that's-
getting the worst
No,
byproduct of sex.
that is.
He's getting the worst byproduct of sex, which is children. So
True.
Wait,
With
also,
the
is
sex.
it done via, is the impregnating done via IVF or
So,
is that
You
Yeah, I
send,
think
you
it's
send it
done-
in a bottle.
by medical, yeah, by those medical things,
Okay, I think this
procedures
feels
are
like an
available.
ad that he's doing to.
Why did I hear that is the impregnating done by IVF? And like suddenly we are
We are not opposed to it, Sriram, now that you brought
Yes,
it
yes.
up. And I'm thinking,
Correct.
in your list of crimes today, you've taken on three great statesmen and historical figures of India already.
I
What is it to make
did
fun of
nothing.
IBM sexually? Honestly, the legal case you
Do
get
you,
from us
do
is
you,
the
do you
smallest.
feel do you feel impregnating people is not a good thing, Cyrus? I feel it's a noble
I think it's a
thing.
neutral thing, good or bad, because it depends on who all are involved. You can't just say yes or no. Judgment has to
I
be
would like to
reserved.
see that. I would like to see that episode of Seen and the Unseen. Like in this week of Seen and the Unseen, we look at impregnating women. Then what are the scene factors?
If we were a fully open society, a lot of people, men and women, would be thinking in blurbs like, I'd like to be impregnated by so and so, and I'd like to pregnate so and so. I mean, that would be happening. Shreyas tells me every time he goes for a dolphin visit, he sees that amongst the dolphins. Female dolphin looking at a male dolphin, giving a little eye and that kind of thing, and flirtatious look and all that. So isn't that what it? I mean, it all boils down to that.
I
If we
feel it's
were
a
more
fully
primal,
positive thing because
took away
every
the
time you
civilized veneer.
every time you
Sorry?
impregnate someone, you also get 50,000 reward points. I feel that wholly makes it
Well,
a
I wish
Technically,
you were
it's 1
Parsi,
million.
Shreyas, if you were Parsi, you'd be great because the way you're saying it is like an everyday thing. Every time you impregnate someone, so next tomorrow, and then just 50 minutes of my work every day, twice a day. So we could use you. We could use you if you could do this every day for 6 months. Another Bagh will open up in Nagpur alone.
Yeah.
I can just see it, Shreyas Bagh. All of them
I
will be
like
farmers.
I have a solution to this guy. He has had 47, right? He has pretty much one for each American state. So I think he should do two more. And the 50th one is the one
Yeah.
that he gives. Okay, this is a special
Masturbation.
offer
No, but
only for
he's all over the world. It's not only in America. His children.
it's global.
He has.
his-
Apparently, he's getting a lot of attention from UK, some European countries, and all. Also, he's
Give
all
me a
over the
list
world.
of countries who are desperate for this man. That's where I go next. That's where I holiday alone, boys. Give me the list. Come on. And please don't say North Korea, for God's sake. Yeah. Oh,
Russia and North Korea are the two biggest countries.
Ooh.
No, they're not.
Oh.
I'm just messing.
Okay,
Hey,
wait.
but by the way, Putin, can I just segue here? Putin is going in for cancer surgery. Is everybody following that story?
he's going for
Putin is
cancer
this guy's
surgery.
last name also, by the way. Just saying. No, it's not.
Put
But it could have
in.
been. Yeah, it could have been.
Unnecessary. Very, very bad. Disgraceful, I would say. Reward points cancelled from your.
Wait, which
Putin
cancer does he
weekend.
have? Does he have one of the cooler ones or is it like the basic one?
Hey.
What?
Hey, I guess what are we holding back? You're right. Why should I put my hand up and say, guys, be sensitive? What's the point? Go on.
If Putin is going for cancer surgery, I'm really scared for the cancer.
Oh.
You never
But in a
know
way,
what's
he
gonna
is. He's
happen.
attacking the cancer. You're
The
right.
cancer will
He
pass
is,
away
yeah.
and nobody will find out about it.
Yeah. I mean, I hope the invasive process for that surgery is not as badly planned as his Ukrainian one.
Well, he already made one mistake. We know about it. So that's odd.
Yeah.
That's not Putinesque.
That's
If you have to
suspicious,
look at
actually.
it.
The fact that we know
Very
about it
suspicious,
feels
yeah.
like it's a lie. Like there's something.
But I would
that's happening.
honestly think that he would not want this sort of reverse propaganda going out because it looks like a sign of weakness, or we're all thinking that you hear the big C word and you always think of the inevitable conclusion, or etc. etc.
Yeah.
And that doesn't go well with his unbreakable macho MMA fighter till he dies on horseback with both feet in the air image.
Yes.
Which is also
Yes.
my image, but I don't have a country that I've attacked yet. I'm looking at Thane, guys. Do you think I can take Thane on? I'll start with just Thane.
I think Marol is their ally, so they might come in strong.
Don't
So
take the name Marol. Because
No, man.
yesterday I realized
I'm leaving.
now it's
Said
clear
Marol.
the rectum
Damn it.
of Mumbai is Walkeshwar, Marine Drive, Malabar Hill. We are the rectum of Mumbai. There's no question about it. Because at 6:05 on Sunday morning, 6:05, me in my gym clothes and three guys on scooters with their cricket whites are stopped by cops and then told not to park the car anywhere between Walkeshwar and Bombay Gymkhana Fountain. Why? Because VIP movement. This is the exact point they gave us. At 6:05. Because of Maharashtra Day, later on, they would have some movement. So they just stop us for no reason. This is just
Man, that's
ridiculous, bro.
ridiculous.
Do they stop you at
how do you-
Marol? Do they stop you on Antop Hill? I've never heard anyone from Antop Hill call me up and say, bro, they stopped us. Not one person.
But
Cyrus, I like the fact that you call Walkeshwar the rectum of Mumbai. And why? Because there's some VIP movement. So that tells you exactly what you think
They're going
of
for the
VIPs.
physical visibility in the joke here. I like that. I like the fact that we've lowered
I
our
agree,
standards.
though. I agree because the sea is basically our sewage. So all of this metaphor feels beautifully right there. I think
I will send them all to Chembur and then I'll hear from your friends and family. You know what it's like. What the hell at 6:05 and the police aren't equipped to answer questions. They started calling
Yeah.
control
No, but-
room to control room is telling him take his mobile phone down and bring him in for questioning. I'm like, seriously? Because I'm going to
Yeah.
deadlift now? What do you
Also,
what's my
that's-
plan? What the hell?
How
you do?
long is that stretch?
Oh,
You said
Jesus.
Malabar Hill to Walkeshwar, right?
Oh,
Malabar
because
Hill to
all,
Walkeshwar.
I started driving at 5.
2-3 kilometer stretch. So the entire 2-3 kilometers.
6-7 kilometers. I started from home and all the way
Yeah.
down there clearing us. This is under 6 I start. At about 6:05 I
So
reach.
yeah, so what if someone has to go like between that stretch? They have to park their car at the end or
No, they just
at the
harass
beginning
people.
of the stretch.
And you know who they're harassing?
Yeah, it's such a
There's a young
nightmare, dude.
Prithvi Shaw and young David Warner who are on their scooters who are going to, at 6 in the morning, you're going to play cricket. You are going to play cricket. You're not a terrorist who's going to do something. After 5 in the morning, you see the guys, Mehnat is involved there. You can see that. And they're stopping that guy. They're stopping me. We're all serious guys. We have no lives. This is what we do. Obviously, it's 6. And that guy's, and his only answer was VIP movement. He had no second answer. And I, of course, my Hindi keeps failing me because I was giving him a beautiful lecture till it failed about how if a terrorist attack happened, I should be protecting him, not him, me. Which I spun it beautifully and all that because he's a fat, unfit guy and all that. And it was looking really good, and the disparity in our situation was fabulous. And the elitism and all the class issues that I brought up were fabulous from our side. If somebody speaking for us against the underprivileged people, and once and for all telling them it's okay to be rich and still be bullied, which is what's happening all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it was horrible.
Do you think?
The weird part is
only
this.
first-
Cyrus, what are you going to do? What are you going to do complaining to him? That guy doesn't have any power.
I don't know,
to
but
sort
in
of
Kyiv,
unblock
while they're being
things.
bombed, people can still go and play cricket in peace, Nobody's bothering them or lift weights or whatever.
No.
While they're being bombed. But
I
here these guys...
I feel Cyrus, he's seen the podcast. He kind of realizes what we're doing is not really
He had that
actually
lack of
important.
respect, Sriraam, in his eyes was so spot on. He just looked at me with disgust, there's someone who can't... Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
But
know,
Cyrus, what happens if you don't retreat?
Sorry?
What happens if you don't retreat? If you don't listen to him and if you just keep
No,
doing what you are
so in
doing?
the argument,
You become
the
a
guy
VIP
is on a
then, Shreyas,
walkie-talkie. The
automatically.
walkie-talkie is hearing everything. The walkie-talkie guy is telling him, uska mobile phone lena. So I said, I don't have a mobile phone, which technically I didn't have.
Yeah.
Okay?
Nice.
So then the guy saying, station ko lana. That idea was so bad in his eyes because he's now 6 in the morning. Now he'll have to take me somewhere. God knows the closest station being not that
Hey, but
close.
Cyrus, it'll be great if the station is on the way to Bombay Gym and you get dropped on the way.
I even told him, opposite there is a chowki. I said, can I park the car there? He shrugged his shoulders. Now he didn't want to commit. I said, if you tow me, you're towing me there anyway, right? So you tow me. I pay the bloody fine and leave home after that. It's such rubbish here. And there was no chief minister in bloody metro or half
so
the other
exactly.
lanes.
I have a theory. I think cops use VIP movement as an excuse for just random shit. Like, why is this car broken down in the middle of the road? Like, oh, VIP movement going on. This is like, and then people don't ask questions. No, VIP movement. I don't want to get involved. What if I get in trouble?
But this guy is a foot soldier, so he's suffering as much as me. He's working early morning on a Sunday, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that the system is so crappy. They're wasting their time doing all this rubbish. There's a lot of policing they can do. This is not part of it, honestly. At 6 in the morning to stop people and hold back little traffic that's there. But it's somebody who nobody knows who they are going for Maharashtra Day, which nobody else is basically taking, cognizance of beyond a point. And it's just pointless waste of effort.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm saying comedians must run the country. Now, don't look at Ukraine as the only option. Yeah. Give it a longer run, and then we'll see. Comedians will make a difference, bro.
Let's move on to some...
If you had to vote for one comedian, your vote, that person becomes the prime minister. Who are you voting for?
Well,
Zelensky.
There's a rider. Arnab is disqualified. Funniest of the lot as he is. It's like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
We don't compare Shakespeare with other writers.
Correct.
So we take Arnab aside because he's
league
like
of their own. Yeah.
A league of their own. And then we start with the next lot. So Rahul Gandhi comes in. Rahul Gandhi is funny, but he's not super funny. So Rahul Gandhi makes it. Right. And then we've got all these, your Veer Das and all. See, I don't follow them, so I can't tell you who's the best. But the guys I know, like y'all, out of you guys, I will take Sriraam above everyone else. Because whatever I say, he'll say worse things. So relatively speaking, always the same bet. He's there, Lok Sabha. He's abused. It's all Hindu audience. He's made all the wrong Hindu comments. Then he goes to Iftar party. He makes all the wrong Muslim comments. Then he goes into the United Nations and abuses all the Europeans.
Which is the anti-Congress, where I appease no one, as opposed to appeasing everyone. But
well, Kejriwal was wearing that hat for some time. I'm my own man and I will not align. Or then now it's like he'll ally with everyone. Raj Thackeray, on the other hand, seems to have joined a party, if you know what I mean.
you can't talk about
but by the way, we've had a cartoonist run the state before. So I think it's not that much of a shift from a cartoonist.
And now a photographer, technically.
Yeah, technically a photographer. Yes.
Who was head boy in Campion School and was supposed to be a good leader.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
hey, you're right, guys. When you cartoonist, the photographer, comedian, we're all in the same entertainment sort of space.
Yeah. I
Satire.
feel. Yeah, I that's what I think. Like, but the interesting thing to note is they start to become powerful the day they quit their actual jobs of cartoonists and photography.
I get your point. You're critically saying that you didn't do so well in career 1. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you had to look at career 2. You didn't leave that career 1 with people clapping and saying, "Wow, what a guy! What a guy!" Yeah, okay, you're a bastard. You're an actual bastard, Sriraam.
For every photographer who became a CM, there are like millions who are doing like a Kingfisher calendar shoot, and that is no career at all.
So who's jealous of whom? I'm now confused. You've lost me. How's this playing out? 20 years later, I could have been that guy, but now you get salutes.
Do you think that's the reason? That's the reason that we have all these villains in the world, that art wasn't appreciated. Hitler's paintings
That's what they say. It was rejected. There was a Jewish tribunal. The story is not completely untrue, but I would think, would you really want to conquer the whole world because your painting didn't sell or you didn't get into art school?
Sometimes I look at...
Okay, another theory, another theory about Hitler is, this is more of a joke theory, but a theory that kind of like...
Now you set it up like that, you're putting pressure on all of us.
But okay, so the theory is that as a kid, so Hitler drew a lot of dog paintings. Okay, that was like one of his favorite things to draw was dog paintings. Okay, so the theory is that as a kid,
like paintings which had dogs, which he drew as paintings. Secondly, or like
no, he didn't paint dogs, you moron.
Yeah.
He didn't go, "Hey, come here, Simon, good boy." It wasn't like that.
How dare you move? So anyway, so it's possible that as a kid he lost a pet dog, and after that got really depressed and got really angry with the world. Okay, the world let my dog die, and now I'm going to burn the world to the ground.
I'm a student of psychiatry and psychoanalysis. I love the subject, but I find it difficult. We've had pet deaths, relative deaths. We've had all kinds of problems across the world. The correlation that you're coming up with, I'm having trouble with. That I should now attack Poland. One second, okay, because my Pomeranian had a stroke. Poland, off with you. I mean, I'm finding it in trouble there. And now no German Shepherds. So Austria, we take over. Then Czech Republic, off with you, because we couldn't produce children with the Saluki. There's no end to that. But it's a good theory.
It is a very good theory. It is a very good
I accept it. I totally, I'm going with it. So now, can we use this theory going forward as for historians? Oh my God, what have we done to?
Sure. Let's do one more topic. Let's do one more topic.
Studied it. Okay, sorry.
I saw that.
I'm still trying to come to terms with the fact that we have no dignity left in our show because the 3 main people have not even entered the podcast studio, and this Shreyas is only thinking, "Why am I here? Why am I here?"
This is a homage to the pandemic days, lockdown days. In case anyone was missing those times.
You're trying to hold on to that. Why let go so soon?
You know what? This is making me feel like my podcasting art isn't being appreciated enough by the group. I just don't know what might happen today. I just don't know how this day will end, I'm just saying.
I think it's more like a quota system, for different sections of humanity and society. You have to do quotas. So you're in this quota where we have to put you in the podcast studio today. That's the way it works out. I'm sorry, bro.
That's fine.
Just following procedure. Yeah.
This sort of reminds me of Hollywood Squares, the show that Whoopi Goldberg and all were there. This could easily be
too young. They were too young. Tell me about it, Sriraam. I remember it. Most of those actors are dead and gone. Not slappable actors.
The square that they were in is now a coffin, is what you're trying to say.
Yes. They're 2 squares joined together to put the feet in as well. Okay,
cool.
Before we go into the host read, we can quickly do a topic. Let's do a topic.
So it's this is a slightly longer topic.
So set up the topic, then I'll go to the host read.
Okay, cool. So
because
India
setting up is longer than our discussion generally because we have no interest and you have forgotten the topic. So put that together.
The Russia-Ukraine war is affecting India in kind of an interesting way. So we'll find out more after this break.
I can tell you one way it's affecting India.
Yes.
In South Mumbai, they're not letting us park cars anywhere and they're making us wait while the VIPs go up and down. I feel that somehow I blame Putin for that. I mean, they're looking at the power display and saying, we also want to appear powerful. And for God's sake, when will people in South Mumbai try and tell the politicians, we don't know who you are? You're never going to get any love because we don't know who you are. Even the cops don't know who you are. They say VIP. They
Correct.
never tell us the name. It's like VIP. I say, Con VIP? Huh? Con? VIP. Nobody has an answer.
Cyrus, have you ever had to sit in a government vehicle, like with the lal batti on top?
I have.
Like
I have.
ambassadors and Fiats and all?
I have. But
Yeah?
I got bail. But I'll tell you. I'll tell you one thing. We were planning a bakra just before we stopped doing it in 2010 using the red thing. And,
Oh,
just
nice.
stopping people. We were trying to get permission so we can use it to stop people for ridiculous things. Like a guy is walking on the pavement and you stop the car and say, "Kya kar raha hai?" Accusing of nothing in particular. Just payment pe nahi. Something stupid like that. And we didn't get the permissions in the end, but I thought it would be really funny to do flippant, silly things with it, which is what they're doing.
Yeah.
This is what they're doing.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
It has
Essentially,
become reality now. It's not even a.
No, but
essentially,
Yes,
Cyrus
I
is inspired them.
No, I'm just saying, for me, the worst job in the world is that safari suit guy who's on the left of the driver, whose left hand is just telling all the people who are not paying attention to him to stay out of the way of who,
Yeah.
what. But with what ferocity he's moving his hand like an elephant in mating or something. He's like, unbelievable. What a job that is. All right. So what's the topic?
The Russia-Ukraine war affecting India
That's it?
in an
You're giving
interesting
us
way
a
that I'll
little
tell you about. The interesting
Okay.
way I'll tell you about after the break. Yeah.
Is it controversial?
So, no,
Is it
not at all.
interesting? Is it
I'll
like
just-
a positive
this-
spin?
No. It's
Sorry to bring it up.
it's in a bad way only. In a bad way. In
Okay.
a bad but interesting way.
Okay, then it's
Bad and
good.
interesting
we
is
like
what this
bad,
show is
but
all about.
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
bad
think we
but
can go.
interesting.
If this was the good, the bad, and the ugly, we are just like, ugly is our thing. We're not even trying to go bad. Okay, now I'm going to share my thoughts with you, my spontaneous thinking moment where I just immediately come up with something, which is how the young Da Vinci was. The guy could build a bridge or paint a painting or make an airplane design and he didn't like women, but he still painted the Mona Lisa, which is a paradox I've never been able to understand. Hitler liked dogs, hence he was painting dogs, whatever his kind may be. So couldn't get that correlation, but let's not get off the topic because this is something I should stay with. Silverie's put his hand up for some reason. Silverie, would you like to ask a question?
No, I'm trying to support Jupiter on my hand.
I thought you
How
were
do you
doing a
get it?
desi Mona Lisa
damn it.
for a second. I
Not
was a
able
little
to get
worried.
the angle right. Oh, that is.
Uh.
Yeah.
Oh,
You carry
there,
on. He's supporting Jupiter. I don't think I can beat that. That's fantastic.
If Antariksh is supporting Jupiter, does that make him Zeus?
This is a very fine
Yeah.
point. Although I thought Jupiter is Zeus. But what we'll do is
Jupiter is Zeus. Jupiter is Zeus.
Yes. Yeah.
Roman.
It's Rome.
Greek,
It's Rome
yeah.
versus Greek mythology.
Makes me
I
Hera.
know-
Makes me Hera because I'm
Yeah,
the wife of
Yeah,
Zeus.
yeah, correct. He's very good. He
Yes.
knows his Roman Greek
Yeah.
mythology. That's not
Yeah,
bad
correct.
at all.
Yeah.
Athena
Nobody
is
was-
his daughter, was
We
born
made
from
fun of
Greece.
every other
It's-
culture, but Roman Greek
Exactly.
is
That's exactly what I was going to say, Cyrus. It's very powerful cause for
That's
this
huge
podcast.
for us. Yeah,
It's
after
very
the
powerful
Mahabharata, for
cause
God's
for
sake,
this.
Shreyas wanted to combine the two epics. Where were we there? And now suddenly we have the Greeks and the Romans. Like, guys, don't touch, untouchable, don't touch.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
all right.
So we're going
Let's go.
into our break, Jupiter money break, and we'll come back. And well, it'll take a long time, to be honest. Hanging on to my reward points. Where are they?
Hello. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says Cock and Bull, Cyrus is joined by Vineet, Puneet, and myself, Silverie, urf Antariksh. We discussed the IPL taking action against Rishabh Pant and the Florida bride that was arrested for lacing her wedding food with marijuana. Yeah, that's wild. On Pesa Vesa, Anupam and Rahul Shah, co-head of research at Equity Master, talk about how to get started in the equity market. On All Things Policy, the Takshashila folks analyze the role of social movements in public policy. On Pulyabazi, Pranay and Saurabh look into electric vehicles and why their batteries seem to be failing. And on Say No to Drama, Chetna tells us how we can overcome saying no to everything. Do follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, do tell a friend. It really helps us out a lot. Also, don't forget to rate us on any platforms you're listening on, and you can also check us out on YouTube. We are also doing a small listener survey to better understand how you respond to our shows and advertising on the network. We would really appreciate it if you could spare a few minutes to fill it. It helps us build better shows for you. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week, SBI Life Insurance, India Water Portal, and Jupiter, a digital banking app.
All
Hey, Amit's
Right.
voice changed a little bit, right? Amit's voice.
Right. This is beautiful.
Amit sounds really young.
Was this the debut, Antariksh, of
It
your
was the
voice?
debut, but it's also the end of
It
an
was,
era.
yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
has.
It's
It
also the
7
end.
long weeks of
It's
the
the
most
beginning of my
sexual
debut
voice.
and the end of my career.
Oh, you were dropped from the IPL team immediately? What's going on? You
No,
give a
no.
little
So
time.
So I'll tell you. Okay, like
Please.
so we have these weekly
Forget
promos that we have
your
to read. Okay?
Russia-Ukraine story. This is much more interesting.
Yeah. This
So
is
we-
Interesting, huh?
So,
It'll be
so
great
we
if
have-
this is what the interesting /
What happened to
unfortunate
Amit's
thing.
We finally have something
because
we
of
all
it.
find
Yeah.
credible. Yes.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
So we write down these weekly promos, right? Like from our social media and production teams. Okay, this is what happening
You
in
mean this
every
is
show.
written down and then spoken? I mean, work goes into it because that doesn't appear to be so.
Yeah, of course. It's always written down.
Wow,
So
wow.
Amit gets it done, like gets everything recorded in like 10 minutes. Okay. It's like it takes Amit like 10 minutes. Took me like an hour and a half, or with like the number of retakes and like, oh shit, I misread that. Oh shit, sorry. Okay, I didn't.
Just to be clear,
stammered and all.
marijuana is legal in America, right? I mean,
yeah, but
to be clear. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is good for America.
As an aside, go on.
Yeah.
7 years in Aram Nagar, finally Silverie. Hey guys, whoever's writing that in, who wrote that in, please don't knock a voiceover artist. It is the best job in the entertainment space. It's the shortest
it
job,
is,
air conditioned comfort. How many takes can you do? And it's never really hard.
That's
Honestly,
why the job is in Aram Nagar, Cyrus. It's a name.
Yeah, it is Aram Nagar. But forget that. I can do it in Tamil now because they take one phonetic sound at a time.
Yeah.
You can just train you like
yeah.
a parrot. So Hindi has become really easy. You just do one word, the word that you stumble on or whatever, or if you want to change the expression, just take that word out and do it.
Yeah.
They do it that way.
Yeah.
And you can literally do it in a language you're not comfortable in at all. You can literally do a line.
Which extends not just to voiceovers, but also like your, whenever like in the
sexual
South,
preference
like,
and all. Yeah.
wait, no, whenever the South like cast like a Alia Bhatt is cast in like that movie RRR, right? So she still has to say the dialogues in
Telugu. That movie RRR. It's the biggest blockbuster of her career. That movie RRR. Please.
But you don't associate that with Alia Bhatt, right? So there, what they do is like you have to do again the same one word at a time. So like then you realize, wait, the word is to the equivalent of like shocked, but it doesn't fit within the moment, right? Like they're talking about say a car, but then they'll enact the car as a shocked, like as opposed the shocked is the next one. I can't explain this clearly, but still, the point is
this is the worst explanation I've had since Mrs. Ranganathan in maths. I think when she did the first time I did equations, which just drove me nuts. This was as bad the experience for me. I don't know what the hell you were saying. What the hell were you saying?
In the sense that what do you say? There is a car. I am shocked. So while she's saying there is a car, the expression would be shocked, but the shock is in the next line. But you sort of jump in because they've been told
films. The martial arts films of the 70s and all, where the line doesn't match the expression sometimes.
Yes.
Fair enough. Yeah. But we still enjoyed it. So that's another art. Yeah. In a sense.
Because there's still action there, which they have.
No, but I'm saying coming back to voiceover artists and all that, I'm just saying it's a great role. Why would you please don't knock it. So Silverie, if you get a job as a voiceover artist, you become the best in India, you're a multimillionaire, trust me, with the least amount of actual work, even less than what we do in the podcast.
That sounds great.
6 minutes a day. You've done like 11 takes for 4 different ad filmmakers and you're back home.
Yeah.
That's you're on the phone all day watching your YouTube videos.
Is this podcast prep for you to become that voiceover artist?
I have tried. Ever since I did my Ouch commercial, I have tried. I pray to God every day. Can I just do Ouch for the rest of my life? I can do it in all languages. They were Japanese. Make it now.
Ouch in Tamil though.
It's not that different. Having been beaten up by Tamil Nadu police officers, yes, it's similar, the feeling. Ouch. Little bit here.
But when you listen to Antariksh's voice while closing your eyes, is that a trustworthy voice? Is it a dependable voice? Is it a voice that would get you
It's a very trustworthy voice. He's got a very friendly voice. The only thing is that the sexual nature of Amit's voice. Amit was like a man who's very horny, but for 40 years has not had sex.
Yeah.
And that quality is very difficult to get, because we aren't honest about that normally. Right. Silverie is more like that, the hungry puppy in Powai who's jumping up and down. But everybody likes him, he's like everybody loves Raymond. He's a likable guy. But there are many of those likable guys. I feel there's only one Amit. and I'm missing that because that's 75 years of wandering in the caves alone, trying to find peace and playing with himself. And that comes out in the way he talks about some financial expert who nobody cares to know. Glorifying him for 10
you're
minutes.
saying every voiceover that Amit gives is a flirty one. You're like, oh,
It
pehle
is.
istemal kare, fir vishwas kare.
Swiggy has gone on record to say we call up Amit. Because they call him up, just to hear him. It's like that. So no order ka zarurat hai, sir.
Do you think? Do you think they call up Amit and then like trick him into recording their voiceover like those telecom things?
Everything is reverse for Amit. Like credit card callers call Amit, sir, can you sell us some credit card right now?
Can you just read these 10 numbers, Amit?
No, they all get him to say the
1 to
immortal
10.
lines. Press 1 because it's very sexual. Not press 2. Press 3. And for God's sake, press 4. It's got that.
If you want to go back to the previous menu, press 0.
Okay, Shavik saying, why does he have a daddy voice? But so Silverie didn't explain. So why were you doing it and not him? What's the final thing?
He had I think he had a dental procedure last week. So because of that, he wasn't able to speak as freely as he would have wanted to. So I did.
You seem happy about that, Antariksh. You can't fucking stop grinning while saying that.
He's happy that Antariksh has healthy teeth now.
I hope Amit is watching the episode on video and not listening to it.
After the dental procedure, which was the dental procedure was on last Wednesday, Tuesday. Yeah. So I met him on Wednesday and we chatted for half an hour. His voice was like Amitabh Bachchan in Coolie. It was perfect.
So so after that, either Amit got tricked into not doing this, or I got tricked into doing this.
Anyway, it was quite a. Why don't you all share like Simon and Garfunkel do harmonies? Press 1. You're bouncing, bubbly, press 1. He's like, press 1. It'll be so beautiful.
My theory is that I think Antariksh called up Amit from an unknown number, like, sir, your dental appointment is scheduled tomorrow. And then Amit went there.
So what's happening on IVM this week?
Or batao, sir.
All right, Antariksh, how is India affected by Russia?
So,
can you tell us? Yes.
God, Sriraam's in a hurry. Basically, as
we know, as an Indian, you should be proud not to work. That's the whole idea of being on a podcast. Just stall it.
Okay. So, as you all know, we have a major heat wave going on in India right now. That's not caused by Russia, Ukraine, don't worry. But there's a heat wave going on, because of which the demand for electricity has gone way up, because people want their ACs on, they want their fans on all the time. But we are going through, our country is going through one of the major electricity outages that we've seen across states. Okay, some states have 5-7 hours outage a day. Some are having half
8
the
hours,
day.
by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Some states are having almost half the day.
Forget that.
This is caused because... Yes, please go ahead.
Go on. No, go on. Sorry.
So this is caused because of the coal shortage that we are facing. A major coal shortage, which is because of the Russia-Ukraine war. A lot of the coal supply chain has been affected due to the Russia-Ukraine war. Because of which we are not able to import
in the 1980s by Shatrughan Sinha, Amitabh Bachchan in a movie called Kala Patthar. Did they not explain this?
I don't know. Koila in a movie called Koila also could be. I don't know.
You're right. I'll have to refresh my memory.
How did the two economists, Shatrughan Sinha and Amitabh Bachchan, explain?
Dr. Shatrughan Sinha, please be respectful.
Yeah. How did they explain it in Kala Patthar?
I don't know, but there was a lot of dancing. It was a lovely India. Oh, what? Really? Everybody's happy.
So even back then itself, the solution to global warming was a rain dance.
There you go. Although I think it's very insensitive for them to play Chaya Chaya or something while it's a heat wave. No, you don't want anything to make you feel more hot.
Yeah.
They should be playing the kind of music that you sort of chill with. And I don't know, we don't have that. Do we have that?
We don't have, because 80% of Bollywood songs are sexualized, and all of them like mere ang mein aag and all of that.
Yes, aag, garmi, it's all of that.
Yeah.
And they think we are the comedians.
Exactly.
Right. Those guys.
They literally have lyrics which says "Pani mein aag lagai." Like even when there's no aag, which is water,
then they get the actor and actress to wink and things like that. It's like it's so stupid. In case you didn't follow our double meaning.
Yes, exactly. And then they'll be like, in case you didn't follow our double meaning, they will show close up of an actress's belly, just swaying around.
Gyrating.
And then in case you still didn't know, there'll be an actor who swoops his hand in the belly. Guys, at least now you get the innuendo, right? what
And
you're
then they
getting at.
actually have a line saying "Aank Maro." Oh, the really stupid, the backbencher duffer, जो जब से पीछे पड़ा है साला. Please understand our point. Our country is safe. Our country is safe.
Yeah,
And these guys
it
win
means, like
awards.
the only way like they could make it even more idiot proof is like the script writer actually walks in on screen, breaks the fourth, and like we are talking about sex, guys. Okay, like just in
with
case
that
you want, like,
teacher ka baton thingy, you know, where you point at the
Yeah.
blackboard. You should be explaining it through diagrams. Yeah.
yeah. But
Seriously.
anyways,
This is-
Antariksh, how
If
okay?
this is what they
Huh.
are showing, I'm just grateful that there are power cuts so that we don't have to.
Yeah,
see
yeah.
this.
Suddenly we're
Honestly.
not like
How dare you be so insensitive? Do you know what power cuts
Man.
can do? Forget villages and people not getting food, water, rations, stuck in lives, education,
Dude, it's so
hospitals, all
hard.
that. What about the IPL? What if in the middle of a decision it goes off? What are we going to do? The third umpire goes like this, and then they can't do anything.
Saz, did you see that where in the match where this guy got caught, but then it hit the cables and then they made
Yeah. But I didn't like that at all. I was
Wait,
just
what
thinking,
happened?
a brutal
Wait, what
catch David
happened?
Miller
What
took.
happened?
It
What is it?
just touched the cable, one of those
So-
cables that they have up in
Yeah,
for
the
the
camera
satellite.
cables. The camera.
Yeah, the camera
This
cable.
apparently was a
You know
satellite
that
cable.
it's going to happen soon, right? You're like waiting as to when will the ball hit the camera cable.
No,
has
it
to
was
be
a tougher
finally,
catch. It wasn't easy.
and it was a tougher catch, and he caught it. Yeah,
It swerved, and David Miller was like, and he
Yeah.
caught it like a drunk.
and he caught it.
And after all
But
that,
did that count?
he said,
Did that
In
count
the
as
in
a
the
catch?
heat, that too, Antariksh, in
In the
the
heat,
heat,
yeah.
like the sun is blazing down.
Yeah.
He
Oh, wow.
saw the ball. It like suddenly like hit the cable, swerved. He had to caught it, and then suddenly the umpire like guy's dead ball. Okay, because
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I mean, it was a brown
Okay.
batsman hitting a white ball into a black wire being caught by a white South African. It was everything that you dreamed of.
It was,
Pretty
yeah,
much.
Honestly,
it was
yeah.
True global.
On many levels.
yeah.
But yeah, I think that's just a lovely. IPL just makes up their own rules, you know. It's just
Yeah,
anything
and then
goes.
after a while, it is just beautiful. Yeah,
Actually,
it's-
electricity shortage or outage is the best thing they should. Whenever there's a controversy, they just put it off. You just go like old Doordarshan days.
Yeah.
Now you whatever you guess. Like for us, '83 World Cup. You all watched the movie when Kapil Dev. I don't know if you remember. Richards hits that shot and he's running away with the match at 33.
Oh, the electricity went off. The cable went off.
When Richards was batting, it actually went off just before he got out. But he was running away with the game at that point. And when they came back, we missed that moment. That's a game-changing moment, you know. Following
So
a
you
game.
missed his catch. No one saw the catch live.
Nobody saw the catch. Only
What?
Kapil saw the catch. So we believe him now. Kapil, your party mane kiya?
Suddenly-
There you go, too. Now
Suddenly, I
Kabir Khan is
feel.
saying yes.
See, Cyrus, we didn't see 175. We didn't see
No,
this
that we
catch.
didn't see.
Is the
That
entire
nobody saw.
83 World
We don't
Cup
know
just
if
a
that
fiction
happened.
of the older
Yeah,
generation's
yes,
imagination?
yes.
Like,
We'll win in
all of
fantasy.
them
Nah.
collectively dreamed it. And
It's like rewriting history. Now you make up wars and all. In 1322, there was a king called Nanda. Nanda decided to attack and just make up some other guy.
It's our moonland.
Hey, sorry,
It's our moonland.
Harvesh made an important point. It was actually not even the camera cable; it was the satellite cable.
Satellite. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, which
satellite
made me
cable.
question how old are our grounds that there are like satellite cables through Brabant
Baba.
that goes out.
No, because those are South Bombay now, so people are watching on TV in the stadium. You don't understand.
Oh my god, it's the worst. I'm telling you, Cyrus, we've spoken about. It's the worst experience. In like there are some seats which is directly exposed to sun, no roof on top. So what people are
went?
doing is they're trying to pull the branch of the tree
Yeah, you didn't see
behind
that.
them.
This
Yeah.
is Gabon. There's one
Yeah.
tree in the east stand. One, huh? I mean, this is like it's tantamount to rape because
Yeah.
everyone is pulling at those things. There are 20,000 people in one tree. This is India. This is really a sad picture of India. Affluent India fighting
Like,
for shade.
The
Okay,
third richest league in the world or something.
My God,
and
really?
still like you have people holding onto branches as shades in the.
No, but it's a great leveler. You see, as a movers and shakers like a Ritesh Deshmukh with all his money and fame, sitting there sweating
Yeah.
and blowing his just like you in waiting in line to buy rations or whatever. He's actually doing that, fanning himself. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah.
That's good.
And the weird part is, I always used to think like cricketers always like, what the fans, we do it for them. If you do it for
Yeah,
them,
right.
give them your pavilion seat. No, like
Yeah. Hey, look at
Isn't
the
it right?
pun. Look at the pun intended there. Fans. That's the one thing you don't have. It's buying. Really. I don't feel bad for the cricketers. You're paying me 5 crores or whatever. I'll suffer. You know, I'll take him a lot of money for whatever 2 hours work. But
Yeah.
honestly, you pay for your ticket. You sit there. Your team
Yeah.
loses on top of that, and then they have an outage, so you can't
Yeah.
see the game or the game stops or whatever. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait, yeah. So there are plastic chairs in the bang in heat. Oh
Yeah.
God.
You stick to
It's such a
them.
nightmare.
Silverie,
Yeah,
you can
of
hear
course
the,
you do. You can
I
just
haven't gone this year, but I've gone in the
you're
past.
coated
The
with
sound
sweat.
of the
You're
t-shirt,
sticking with,
exactly. So you go kachak.
correct,
It's like,
exactly.
remember the old days, the taxi driver would stick to it because he's just, sweating all day. The kachak sound
Correct, correct.
comes. That's the
Oh,
sound
God.
I feel of a third world country. When you hear that sound, you're definitely not in, Munich. It's just not a Munich sound. Today's Munich. Let's not
Okay.
go back
Yeah.
to what we
But
discussed.
just
Yeah.
here's my
Oh, by the way,
question.
Boris
So,
Becker in jail, guys. What about that?
what?
We didn't get into the Boris Becker story. He
Why is
got
Becker?
jailed.
But Becker's always
tennis
been
player.
the bad boy, right?
No, bad boy, his finances all over the place. He didn't declare
Yeah.
after bankruptcy. Basically, continued to
Yeah.
run a couple of accounts. So it's basically that. So doing Shendigiri may have some Indian
Huh.
blood. Don't judge the blonde hair and the blue eyes and all. There's a 10% chance of Indian blood. But really sad.
Yeah.
One of my heroes growing up.
But
What,
why-
6
why-
titles?
why is he in
That's
jail,
jail
though?
number
Why?
one.
Oh,
Well, it's
waiting, like
spiraled.
he didn't disclose his finances
Can I-
and
Which
Silverie,
he
can I
doesn't
interrupt
have
for 1 second?
anyways.
First and foremost, guys, as the married man here out of the four of y'all, the three of us, or four of us, sorry, there's my maths.
you understand
remember
why
one
he
thing-
didn't disclose his finances.
Yeah, no alimony. He got
Oh.
cleaned out every time, brother. In the West, you got to
Yeah.
be really careful. No, careful is the wrong word because we don't have any female on the panel. So let me rephrase that. What happens is, as the higher earning member, minimum is 50-50. That's the situation more or less in most courts. So if he was $25 million after playing days or whatever, it becomes 12.5 and Barbara Felton says, see ya later, auf Wiedersehen, and goes. And then the next, I think 3 or 4 divorces followed. So he's just lost a lot of money that way. Ridiculous. Then bad investments, started his own hedge fund. You can't do those kind of things if they go wrong. Suddenly
Yeah.
creditors come for you. You're the face. You can't just say that you're a 20% equity holder in this company because they come for you. And
Yeah.
next thing you know, it just spiraled. And then after saying you're bankrupt, that's the biggest problem. Even in India, I think with Vijay Mallya, etc. Once you say you're bankrupt, you can't suddenly be known to be drawing money from different accounts. Because what happens is operating in different accounts beyond, say, Germany and Britain. Then you start going to a Monaco and this and that, where all the shady accounts are for them, not for us. For us, it's normal.
Not all.
And then it just compounds, but so sad. So the judge said, sorry, I'm going to give you a jail sentence. You could get 7 years, but I'm giving you 2.5, and half will be suspended. So 1 year, 3 months, basically 15 months odd, or maybe a little less in the end with good behavior, etc. But still, one of the icons of the 80s and 90s, like that, one of the great sports, Germany's most proud son of that era. And basically, what a nice guy otherwise. He's known to be a nice guy.
Son of that era. Come on. But,
who
but
else?
he is up
Who
there.
else? Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, couple of
Yeah,
footballers.
there's Gerd Muller, there's
Gerd Muller, okay, I'll give you Gerd Muller. Come on. Becker, because there's no other tennis player.
Schumacher started then, no?
Schumacher later. Stick is the only other tennis player, but he's not in the same league. One, maybe 2 Grand Slams. So
Yeah,
that's
he's
it.
also the last great German tennis player, no? Male guy.
Well, yeah. Well, we've got what's his name, Zverev now, who's Russian descent, German or whatever. It's always a dangerous thing. But come on, Becker was Becker.
Becker, I'm of course not denying that, man. Becker was like iconic. Like I
was
always
really sad.
enjoyed him and Agassi sort of that era, right? Where both
Would you like to see
they
Leander
made-
Pace in jail? It'll be something like that. I'm trying to
But
put
for
in
a fun
Indian
reason.
context.
I think it has to be a more fun reason than this.
For being on Big Boss twice.
Yeah. Wait, Leander Pace has been on Big Boss?
No, not even once.
Oh,
He's doing
okay.
fine. Big Boss is
Ah.
retirement. So final chapter. Hey, after that, you're consigned to the dustbin of history.
No, not really, right? Sometimes these people will like come on Big Boss and then suddenly they'll get like a few movie roles after that. That has happened.
They do, but it's sort of where does it go after that? Name one guy who's really
It's not
rocking.
long lived for sure.
They do a lot of events for a year or so because they're in the public eye, and so they get invited to cut ribbons and all that. So you see them, but then I think it's sort of people don't take you seriously, which is really strange coming from us.
But I think social media has changed that, right? Because now they can capitalize on it a little bit longer.
They do. But
because
I
they can get like
basically think
ad
their
work
credibility
and
goes.
the sponsorships.
It's their hello friends moment. You can't come back from that. It stays with you wherever you go. And hence the cop will stop you and say, no parking. VIP movement.
With all due respect, Cyrus, Hello Friends had a greater impact on our culture than Big Boss ever will.
We started with Nazi Germany, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata. We end with Hello Friends. We've kept it.
Yes.
We've kept it going, ladies and gentlemen.
In fact, the original Friends wouldn't, be as fondly
Wouldn't hold a
remembered as
candle.
In fact, they have started calling it original Friends so people don't get confused. They put that word in. It's been very clear.
But you know what? I think you guys were ahead of your time because 30% of all
whatever
the
you
meetings-
want to
remake culture
has
started
been
after
said
that.
to us. The abuse has been so vile that you're being just, it's not going to help. It's very
Why
weird.
is it abuse? I genuinely feel like it's just.
It's
I was
sincere
very happy.
respect. Yeah, I don't know what you are talking about. There's no.
Yeah,
There's no-
I was very happy because I felt that me and Ajit Pal put very little effort into it. So we deserve all that we get. I feel bad for 2-3 others who are really serious. I think that's a terrible thing to have on your head when you work really hard and then people, because when you don't, what does it really matter? If it's a fluke, it's a fluke. If it's not, you deserve it. But then,
Did
there's a
Nikhil
guy
take it
who
like
really-
very seriously? Cyrus, did Nikhil was Nikhil very
prepares.
seriously?
He's a prepared guy. That's his style. So I would say he took it seriously. He wouldn't come unprepared. He knows lines and all that, which is just spoil it for all of us. I mean, I'm literally like, I'll just write it on the tissue here and I'll just do that.
Cyrus, do you think there's a parallel universe where Jennifer Aniston and this one Matthew Perry are doing MTV Loveline?
I don't know if they could get that elevation in their lifestyle and career, even in fantasy. I think that would be too much to expect, But think of it, the big boss for them is Friends, because after that, what happens to them either? So
Actually.
Friends, Big Boss, mein kya farak hai, bhai? Lock Up is the future. Lock Up. Every day on my phone, I get things, from Lock Up, saying what is the name? Somebody Shinde is bathing with less clothing or something. I mean, these are headlines. I don't even know what that means. I don't even. You guys can explain some of them to me. It's ridiculous. Munawar, your best friend, Munawar is now the humanitarian of the year. Every day he's doing something, some worthy cause on Lock Up or Lockdown, whatever it's called.
Lock Up something, yeah.
Yeah. You don't follow Lockdown? Lock Up? Lock Me?
No,
Lock
not
You?
at all.
No.
Not at all.
What the hell's wrong with you guys? The future of India is at stake.
No, man,
Stop this stupid podcast.
My Google, because I did I searched for a few articles like a month when it was starting, right? Now Google keeps showing me articles.
Smacking you.
And I can't can't get rid of it, dude. It's just like some ridiculous thing. Oh, Munawar, by the way, is
I won't read this comment.
That is just
Aditya SK said there is also a parallel universe where Cyrus is doing Jennifer Aniston.
I'm doing a role.
Sure.
I don't think it's a sexual reference. I don't think he would be that positive
I
for
feel
Jennifer.
Jennifer
let's get to
Aniston
AMA
wishes that. I mean, seriously.
Well, Jenny
Cyrus,
and
you're
I go back a long
Cyrus,
way.
you're way more handsome than Brad Pitt.
And more importantly, I'm of the same age line as her, right? So let's face it, guys, you'll be like kids. Yeah. So I'm the only one she can actually say, oh, okay, Indian man, same age group, all right, pick up my bags. Whatever. We'll have some relationship, I'm sure.
To answer earlier questions, the reason why I don't watch Lock Up is because I feel it might become my Jewish tribunal. And
it might become your
Jewish tribunal. Where suddenly I'm painting photos.
I don't know what that means.
Right the first time.
Suddenly I'm painting photos of dogs.
The Jewish tribunal that rejected him and caused him to misbehave and become a racist, ranting, rabid nutcase.
Okay.
So what he's saying is that he's going to attack people who formulated the show. There's not one type, literally, so it's not a communal.
So Ekta Kapoor, we already know who it is, by the way. Ekta Kapoor made the show.
You'll go after Ekta because of this?
Yeah, Sriraam will.
No. Not Ekta. I don't think Hitler went to the CEO of the Jewish tribunal.
The one person, correct.
So,
There was no CEO. There was a group of 4-5 guys who look at the
what I'm trying to say, no, sir, my anti-Semitism would be aimed at reality show contestants, and I think that's a noble cause.
That you can't put in the same breath. One is discussing racism, which cannot be ever. I mean, one can't explain it actually on a point. But what you're saying is a natural phenomenon where all normal, proper, average, intelligent human beings should be doing. We should be attacking reality show contestants, slapping them every day.
Exactly.
This is why Will Smith was not wrong. Because Chris Rock has appeared in help me, American reality show called America's Got Talent, AGT.
The Oscars, I guess that's
the Oscars. Saved by the Bell.
Okay.
Habits? Routines? How exactly do they help us get better? Well, to simplify it for you, tune in to the Habit Coach podcast. I am Ashton Doctor and I'm going to be here to help you get better daily with some simple, easy to do habits that you can easily adapt to your life. So tune in to the Habit Coach podcast from Monday to Friday because I believe that awesome lives start with awesome habits.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me.
Let's go to the AMAs. We have a few great questions. Okay, so Ruben David has a very interesting question. He says, Cyrus, how do you feel when someone rings the bell to your house more than once or holds the bell switch for a longer ring as if that will make you open the door faster?
He's right. It's a Pavlovian thing with me again. I just get really angry when I hear a bell sound anywhere. If I hear phone sound, my phone's always on silent. My heart rate shoots up. So for me, I'm really the wrong person to ask this question. I hate sounds. Intercoms, I always take them off because those sounds are too loud. And you're right. So obnoxious people who ring the bell, ting, ting, or really loud. It's bad etiquette. And I think we should have an electric thing there where you can electrocute a person who presses the button. You should be able to press a button back, and so the second time they press it, boom.
But then it's even louder. Then they'll scream. That's even louder than the bell.
I think Sriraam. It happened to Sriraam in Gurgaon. See the hair? I mean, he came straight head and boom, tried to get.
I also, when that happens, right, on the other end, it could be anyone, all right? It could be the second coming of Jesus himself, and I'd still be annoyed as to why.
Just to note, Mahabharat, the secularism of your comedy, Mahabharat, and then we went for Ramayana. Now it's Jesus. Okay, you didn't say anything about Eid, which is tomorrow, so I'll let that go. But you've been pretty good this way.
I've turned off the bell at my house. My house, the bell is turned off.
Yeah.
You actually can't ring the bell at all.
You have to call them.
Because nobody rings it.
Nice.
And you're feeling sad.
Sometimes I ring it myself outside. I just go.
But can you tell your family members' bells? Like, I can tell immediately.
Yeah. Like,
I know the wife rings it in a certain way. My mother rings it.
Yeah. So like in our house, when like someone is, I don't know why I'm giving away our house secrets, because now anyone who wants to break in can do the same. Basically, our house people, when they're entering the house and they want to ring the bell, it's always 2 rings. So we know that's someone in the family. So you can open the door faster. And if it's someone outside, take your time. It's fine.
Will you get confused if I do 4 rings? Will there be 2 people? I mean, like,
2 people maybe. Yeah, 6 is half the family.
Mom and dad here. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Sure.
What fun.
Right. If it's one thing, then it's someone who...
I just feel we aren't a third world country when you tell stories like this, It just can't be. This sounds too frivolous to be a third world country, when we're discussing how many bells we ring. It's just, there's something wrong in the whole image, no?
Yeah.
Back to suffering. Next question.
All right. Info Shots has asked, hey, Cyrus and guests, have you watched the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial? Do you think Johnny Depp sounds more genuine out of the 2?
I think
this genuine or not, right? Last time.
Yeah, but I think
Johnny Depp is definitely a better actor. You can see he's a little bit of acting on stage.
You spoke about Chinnappa and preparing for the role. Now I think he's prepared. He's not prepared, and that's clear.
Exactly.
But how quickly internet took one side. I'm not saying they're wrong to take a side. We all probably wanted to take a side after some time. But it just she has no chance in hell. Public opinion, no chance in hell. There's just nobody across the world. Indians in India, Polish people in Poland, all kinds of odd neutrals. Nobody's
because she looks like she looks like she's been lying about like repeated small things also. Like things like the makeup that she used to hide the marks on her face. So she said I used the makeup when we were dating to hide the injuries to my face. But the makeup was that makeup kit was released afterwards or something.
Correct.
2017.
It was
so just like small things like that. You don't have to do that.
Those are very correct things. But what about just the general points that she has an anger issue, clearly. Okay, more than he does. She has a huge anger issue.
Correct.
So that's easy to see. And then the second part is things like poop on the bed and all, bro. You can't make that up, bro. Dude, you got to be really great writer.
That is a mad
I didn't think of it. I wanted to break up with so many girls, and I've never thought of, like, hey, why not? And then when I thought of it, it was genius. I was like, why not? I got dogs, poop. You can blame it on the dogs. No, And they stole it. Amber stole it.
So they had like a psychiatrist or like a mental health expert on who took the stand as one of the witnesses. This was a person who had been hired by Depp's team, but had done an analysis on Amber Heard after interviewing Amber.
Obviously.
Yeah. But this person was able to, basically, she said in court that she has something personality. What is it? Dissociative? No, not DID.
Multi-sclerosis. No, that's not even psychological.
No, she has like a disorder where she is like very like prone to like high mood swings and getting angry at small things. No, I don't remember if it was bipolar. I think that was the word they used.
She also has narcissistic personality disorder.
Yeah, that also.
But that they both have their actors.
Does she have every mental illness? Like over the past 1 minute, we've given her everything. Like she has narcissism, bipolar.
You're asking me? She's a candidate for lockup. She should be brought in here immediately. We are wasting that talent in America. She should be here. Somebody talk to the makers of that show, really. The psychiatrist is very good looking, says, no, who says that?
Ruben.
Yeah, she was. I must say. I must agree with Ruben.
You guys, you don't objectify women like this on our show.
I mean, but good looking,
We
yeah?
have just
I mean,
2
she's there
minutes more
in front of
and
us.
then
So you think objectifying is good as long as you're praising? That's how you like.
हाँ,
praising-
Silverie, hai koi jawab? Answer the question, beta. Me and Shreyas have never put our eye that way towards the ladies. Ever.
Shreyas,
Ever.
you look great right now, man. You look
That
like
seems
that hair
sarcastic.
is really
Actually. That
suiting
seems
you.
very
gorgeous.
mean.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that hair looks actually great.
His point is well made. He's saying there's no sexism here. By the way, I think
Yeah.
Sriram is dying. Okay, he's collapsing. He's holding his back.
Yeah,
Go.
I've had a.
Do you need to go?
I've
Is
had
that the
a
problem?
Awful. I've finally gotten old, and I've went to my first ever spine clinic visit over the past few weeks.
Oh, okay. Did they find it?
You have it.
And I need to
Oh.
like have like corrective like physiotherapy to fix.
Or you
my
can just lie
posture.
down.
No, I don't think. I mean,
Sometimes these things.
the weird part
Like-
is, I'll tell you what, as comics, right? The one thing that you're supposed to do is stand up, and I can't even do that now.
Just a metaphor. See, I told my good friend Kunal 10 years ago when he had his hip surgery and all, I said, well, why do you care so much about it? As long as the pain is alleviated, what's the big deal? Because you're not really going to run the Olympics. You're not really an athlete. You don't really want to, push your body and all that. So don't worry about that so much. As long as there's no pain, how much the physical activity does he do? You get up, somebody props you up, you talk for 5 minutes, they put you back in the chair. So Sriram, again, think about the priorities here and all. Are you going to play the US Open in 2023, for example? I think not. Will you do a Bharatanatyam recital at the age of 39? I think not.
He might. No, he might. That he might.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, US
also
Open
think-
not for
Comedy and classical music coming together. I think that's a fusion I would like to see. Yeah.
I also think you should
Two
incorporate
men
that.
in
And
a bar.
like
One
a
man
couch.
was from England.
you should perform from a couch. You should like take like a pillow with
Hannibal
you. You
Lecter
should take and just
style.
like lay down and perform. Like use it. I think it's.
I think that's nice.
And do that on stage. We'll put the
On
couch on
stage.
stage. It'll be carried in a palki, brought on. And I mean, the whole
Yes.
act, the beginning will be huge.
Oh, perfect.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
Palki sounds nice. But you'll have to
I
carry it
think so.
yourself. I'm sure that'll cure your back also if you have to just carry it by yourself.
Don't make jokes of spinal
Yeah,
pain can
sure.
be really
Carrying
bad.
things cures your back.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Dr. Shreyas to the rescue. Don't waste your money on the other guy. Just
Oh,
pick up
by the
that
way,
But
that
Cyrus, at
stone.
what age? At what
two
age did you
disorders-
feel like?
Sorry.
At what age did
two-
you feel like okay, now
Wait,
like
this is an
all the
insulting
health-
question because he's asking the old guy. One second.
No, I'm not. No,
It's ages
it's
ago.
not.
I got
Hear
you
me
on
out.
that.
Hear me out. So it's not an old guy question. I feel like I'm getting at that age where now I feel like now the body is like massive upkeep where it's going to keep demanding fixes. I generally want to know like, is this a lifelong thing that I have to look forward to, or is it something that just can be tackled?
So, as an
once?
intelligent man, what do you think? Now that you got up feeling the bones are, giving you trouble here and there, you think by next Monday you'll be back feeling young again? What do
That's
you
the
really
thing.
think?
You know what? You know
Think
what the
about
problem? That's what I've been wondering. See, until now, right? Anything that I've gone through, all I've needed was like a pill or some sort of like a treatment,
No,
and
but
then
that's
it's
pain.
fixed
What
again.
you're talking about is this debilitating sort of conditioning where you can understand that your
Exactly.
faculties are going down. That's
Yeah.
a little different from pain.
But that sort of shift is too sudden, I feel. You can't, the medical sciences can't give me 30 years of like, quick fixes and then be like, okay, after now the
Well,
next
there is
50
a
years is
solution,
just...
Sriram. Across cultures, across the world, there's a solution. It's called alcohol. That's why men drink in the morning. You have to get up and fix yourself a drink and you'll start feeling better immediately. I mean, so don't panic. There are alternative remedies. Everything is not Dr. Saxena.
And the good thing,
Physio.
and the
Go
good
fuck
thing,
off.
Cyrus, is I am in Gurgaon where alcohol is the cheapest in the country. So
There you go.
Let's go.
And anything illegal is always welcome in India.
Yeah.
So fair enough. Yeah. But the good news is, don't worry. However bad you're feeling now, 5 years from now, you'll
It'll
feel
be
much worse.
worse.
So,
Yeah, much
always think relatively. That
Yeah,
was so
that's-
good. 2022 is only my bad.
At every point in your life, you're living the best time of your life. For that.
Wait, really?
Exactly.
There's
That's
no
the right
spike
perspective.
ever while you're aging. There's no like at like 38 to 41, it's amazing. Like where you're at the middle of being old and being. Is there no?
Yes, thank God you're a comedian. No, I don't know what to say to you because this is like basic science, is it not? I mean, really, do you have to go to college to figure this out? What are you saying? No, at 43, God says now you're going to have 3 good years suddenly in the middle. No, those are the good
Cyrus,
years. Where you are right
you've given
now.
up, Cyrus, you've given up drinking recently, right?
15 December 24th. So that's not recent now. It's going on 7 years. Not bad, no?
7 years it's
Wow.
been.
Yeah, I think I should start again.
Sorry,
It's a long time.
and sugar you gave up recently. What?
That I had to give up because the stupid,
Diabetes.
what is it called? DPI.
Yeah.
So neither. So when I look at like what can help me like cope with this thing, those are the two things, like alcohol and like stuff myself with like as much.
Well,
sugary
alcohol
shit.
has sugar.
Sweet.
So you don't even have to take the sugar separately.
Yeah, but
This is good news.
You
right?
have neither of those two things. So what is why are you alive?
Yeah, but I Baba Ramdev is my hero. I just follow his principles. I'm up at 4:45 and all good. That gives me 4 hours to stretch. By the time I come out here, there's blood flowing. You should see me in the morning. I'm like a table. They put stuff on me because then they slowly open me up and bring me up. It takes hours. Don't worry.
So you're
So,
assembled every day.
Can we end with one final one?
Yeah, but
Also,
I'm
the
saying,
first.
I don't like yoga, but I must tell you, those who do it properly, I must
is
say they've
great.
aged better. They've
It
aged
is
better. I
great.
see people around me who can do not. There's the jokers, huh? Don't look at the jokers
Yeah.
who do yoga. The ones who actually
Yeah.
do proper yoga or are good at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, because there are guys who I got my yoga mat, and then they're looking to see who's looking at them, and they fart from
Yeah.
the first asana. Those are not the yoga people. There are people who are really good at it, and aesthetically they look terrible. It's not like their bodies change or anything, but they've aged well. Their flexibility is the same. There's no like diminishing returns.
Yeah. I
So
would
maybe you can-
totally get into yoga if people didn't assume.
But you got to be
that
good
I
at
would
it,
go to
huh?
the beach.
You got to
I
be
would-
able to do all that shit. You can't be
I
the
would.
Mr. Mehta who's pretending to raise his leg and then lands up, half movement.
Yeah.
And then,
I would go the whole.
so he can be on the
hog and-
WhatsApp chat of the yoga group because that's not the primary reason for yoga.
What I'm saying is, I would do the whole thing to the T if people didn't assume I vote for the BJP. If I do that,
You want that chap to be removed. You're a
Yeah.
lovely man, beta. You don't want to be politically aligned. I get that.
Yeah,
So you've given up
like
yoga because of the fear of being aligned. Wow. That's
like
tremendous.
I'm
get
giving up my
Alright, guys,
flexibility so that Muslims have more rights in this country.
But I haven't gone to the mandir for 3 years. So, following your principles, beta. I want to go. Okay, let's end.
Let's
on a nice,
get to
happy
one last
note.
MA. By the way, the 2 disorders that Amber Heard that were told in court was histrionic personality disorder and borderline personality disorder.
Wow,
yeah.
she doesn't even have a personality. She's borderline. She still to get one. How
Borderline
disgusting, really.
Almost the
You haven't made it.
personality she has.
Yeah. And she's amber, which is basically the color between green and red, right?
green and red.
On traffic stops. You're neither
Yeah.
go or
Yeah.
stop. You're the in-between
Yeah.
sort of person,
Oh.
literally. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, comedian Mark Norman had a very funny joke. He goes,
I watch him. He's funny.
"Are you following this Johnny? Are you following this Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial? It's crazy, right? Talk about someone who needs herd immunity."
These two comedians don't want to laugh. Huh? They want to give credence to that guy
It's
for using a fun, lowest form of humor. How
it's
dare
okay,
I
Joe.
throw in his
Easy,
face?
yeah,
He can't
it's
do yoga.
easy.
He
It's
can't do
easy.
yoga.
Yeah,
That guy.
easy joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
It's like, hey,
Tarun Kaushik says,
I guess
Sriraam, if you start doing yoga, can you please get someone to
Yes.
film you, especially early days? Please,
Sure.
please.
Sure.
Because
Yes.
that's
I'd
a
watch
really
that
funny
vlog.
thing. I really watch it, bro. When they're trying to catch up with the better ones in the class, but if they're sincere
Yeah.
about it, they can be really funny. I'm dying to watch that. Please shoot it. Huh?
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Wow, we've got a special Netflix. I'm calling them right now.
Sriraam yoga special.
It
Alright.
won't be on Netflix, but it'll be
Sriraam
like
yoga special. What does that sound like?
Yeah.
Okay.
it won't be on Netflix,
Tarun
but
Kaushik
it'll be a
says-
10-minute feature on Lockup.
By the way, we already have an Iyengar's yoga, so you're a bit late to the party, beta.
Really? We also have
Yeah.
a
I feel
Iyengar's
like I-
bakery.
Guys,
But
I feel like I've
that
said the
is
word.
disputable.
I said the name Tarun Kaushik like 10 times, and
Oh,
then
so sorry.
somebody
I said BK
inevitably
Iyengar.
disturbs.
We all know people.
Interrupts. Yes. Okay. So he says, I started Ozark, Cyrus. We have
finished.
always seen you as a comic. Yeah. He says, we have always seen you as a comic, Cyrus.
Can I-
Would you ever take up a serious badass type role going around slashing people in the cinema?
Yeah.
Me,
Well,
I personally like to see you as
can I rephrase that question, Cyrus? Would you ever do Hello,
Yes,
Ozark, or like
What about Ozark is the female. What's the name? The actress. Just
Jason
Google her. No?
Bateman.
No, the other actress, the wife
The
of
actress.
Jason Bateman.
Actress, okay.
There are
sorry.
two actresses. Is that her character becomes more and more sinister and difficult to empathize with as the show grows. I think it organically happened. I'm sure it wasn't planned like that. But her character is so unbelievable towards the end. But she looks one way and she projects and talks one way. But she's the coldest, ruthless, sort of clinical sort of personality, which one didn't read from the beginning. So they've been able to do that with the show. Hence, they're holding our imagination. When
But
the
I'm sure it
characters
was
remain.
planned. I don't think it was organic.
I
I'm
don't
sure it was.
know. Because Jason Bateman was dominating the first season in a sense as this guy who's trying to keep up with what's happening to him, sort of thing. It's more like he's trying to keep up, he's not in control. But she seems to be in control all the time, So her character is more dynamic in that sense, and it gets stronger. It gets stronger, and she is stronger as a person as well, as season 4, second part, which is on right now. So I'm really enjoying that. And yeah, I love the evil factor. Wouldn't you guys like to play an evil? I know you're comedians, you want to make people laugh, and that you probably want to do that because that's the way you are from childhood. But if I give you a role where you're playing a psychopath, for God's sake, where you're going to just cut people's necks off for no reason or butcher someone, 37 stabs, something ridiculously evil.
Nice.
Let's face it, there's a lot of goodness in comedians, no? Cancel bookings, not enough money, copy jokes, too short, whatever the hell it is. Wouldn't it come out? Wouldn't you do it? Who wouldn't do it? It's like a left field situation. It's so different.
I would do it, but it's I'd do anything at this point for the money.
True.
It's not like,
would you do it as a yoga killer? And the whole show is shot in a yoga room, and it's just blood on the mat. It'll be called blood on the mat.
I think that's great. Yeah.
What an idea we've got, guys.
Blood on the mat is good.
Yeah.
Let's
Blood on
create
the
a show
mat.
Bible, I think. Show Bhagavad Gita, as they call it nowadays.
I'll skip that one. Do they really do that, or is that just like being
No, not
flippant?
at all. They don't. They
You
still
never
call
know.
it show
No,
Bible.
now, yeah, never know. It might just be like, guys, for safety's sake, we have CC camera.
But it actually happened. I was in Nagpur. I was with a bunch of friends, and someone said something, and this guy went, Jesus. And everyone looked at him weirdly. Like,
Hey,
why are you
Ram.
saying? Doesn't have the same ring, I think.
Yeah. Also, I preferred it when who was that famous actress Rakhi Sawant who said "G" just for the first time,
That's good.
Yeah.
which
Rakhi Sawant,
the two J's, which give it a whole different feel altogether. Yeah,
Yeah.
not
For the
to make
longest
fun,
time,
not to make fun of anybody. Let's quickly
For
retract
the
that.
longest time, I like whenever I heard Jesus, I used to think of jujubes, like the jelly thing. That
Jujubes.
Okay, so
Jujubes,
two
yeah.
against the Hindus,
I
two
think
against the
called
Christians. Sriraam, you're 2-all. Going into extra time. Are you making any substitutes here? Who's coming in? Changing the goalie? What do you think is
I think
more defense here?
we should
What's
do a
gonna
classic penalty shootout now. No
happen?
extra
I think
time.
so. Golden goal. Or shall we say Joel? I don't know what's the right word.
Yeah.
All right. Are we
Alright.
done? It's 11:20.
Yes,
Bro,
you're
what's
done.
going on?
We're done, Cyrus. Yes.
He said he has a meeting.
Yeah.
Sriraam, what happened to the meeting? Meeting cancelled?
Yeah, I have to head. Yeah.
Oh, they're building the mandir without you.
Yeah. He postponed the meeting saying, "Hey guys, I have to go 16 minutes longer on
I think
Cyrus."
no community wants Sriraam as a spokesperson. It's like a loaded gun. No, you don't want him there because that particular community is where he's going to fuck up for sure. With all good intentions.
Yeah.
Don't do yoga. Do
Unless
yoga in Paris.
the community is like a community of self-destruction. So I think I fit in there.
I don't know what Mr. Neelakanthan is saying. I can't read because my screen is covered.
He says,
Wha-
"Thanks, guys. Lovely show to start the day off. Thank you."
Now we are
Okay,
the
who's-
self-esteem. So there's
Guys,
sarcasm
who's-
feelings. We all
guys,
feeling awkward.
whose fake account is Neelakanthan? Please open up right now.
It was me. I wanted to make you feel better. So you have a good week ahead.
All right.
And don't forget to download Jupiter.money on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. Just one quick last thing before we go. Let's just find out what is everybody doing on a Monday. Silverie, you're still at home, but you're working with IBM, going to the office or from home? So you're going to the office
So I
now.
have one more recording with you in an hour for something else.
In an hour?
And then another recording with you in the evening.
In the evening, not in an hour.
We don't have the hour one? Okay.
No.
Okay, something
think
is crazy.
plan
with
is-
I think
scheduling.
this should be for the
So,
rest of the
that's what-
podcast. It should just be you two figuring out your schedule.
Figuring
I'm
out
glad,
schedules. Yeah.
I'm glad I asked. We're so professional, we don't even know what we're doing
What
next
the
hour. Sriraam's going for a meeting. Is it real or
Yeah.
Real meeting.
is it spine reconstruction kind of thingy that you're doing?
That also is there later in the day.
Okay.
Do you have a
Get
stomach? Are you carrying weight? Because the spine sometimes is, it's a just imbalance that causes a lot of
So
problems.
yeah, it is imbalances because apparently my posture has been wrong all my life. That's
Oh,
exactly
so
what she said.
you walk like an ape. Yeah,
That's
a lot
it.
of us do
90,
that.
90%
No,
of
no,
us.
mine is not
90%
even
of
the
us,
spine. Mine is because the shoulder, so the neck has to take more burden because the lower
Yeah,
back
yeah.
has to take more burden. So all of it
You know,
is
it's
just
all this is
it,
because of
it's
low self-esteem. We walk like that all our lives, and then it's too late.
exactly, Cyrus.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I 100% agree. It's just
The only thing
you
is
think
you could be a travel guide for people from on top of the mountain, because you just be there. Ek kadam aur aage aur abhi niche jao, it'll be like that. That's one thing.
yeah,
Trying to
yeah.
look at positives. Shreyas, what are you doing
Yes.
Monday morning?
I am shooting
You're
a
in the
sketch.
studio.
I'm shooting a sketch. I'm going
Now?
for some alcohol tasting, and I'm going to do a couple of meetings and hopefully a mic or hopefully a show. Let's see. Trying to get
Right
a response
now?
from there.
All this?
No. Throughout the day.
Yeah,
throughout
in the
day.
next hour. In the next hour, Cyrus.
In the next.
Wow.
Yeah.
I also
Silverie,
feel this
we are
question.
kaamchors,
I also
compared
feel
to them.
Cyrus. Cyrus,
Go on.
this question I also feel made Shreyas extremely uncomfortable. He might not be. He might just be going home and taking a nap. But then because you asked this question, suddenly to behave.
And now to make up
like you have to
plans.
do
I have
something.
a
Yeah,
wedding. I
Yeah.
also have an engagement
Yeah,
to go to. There's
what do you
also
call it?
three
What
job
do you-
interviews.
He mentioned some like ad film or script work or something, and then he felt bad to say that. It's sounding arrogant. So could we say alcohol tasting on top of that to
Yeah.
nullify
To
that
balance
effect?
it up,
Yeah.
I have a
To
social
balance
life
it out,
and a
yeah.
professional life. It's both.
Yeah. I'm waiting for you to be really successful because you won't be able to handle it. Come on, he wins another award. He'll be like, sorry guys, national award. I don't know how it happened. I apologize. Never again. I'm getting drunk now. See you later. It's cool, bro. It's all right. Right now, there's no sense of success. There's just another Monday, another week. Happy inflation or Maharashtra Day, as we
Yes.
call it.
And Eid Mubarak to all of you all, guys.
Oh, Eid Mubarak. Yeah, that's great.
Yes, Eid
Tomorrow.
Mubarak. Yes.
Tomorrow is the
Thank you, guys.
Eid.
This is a bad
The
breakup.
famous-
Nobody wants to put the phone down.
The famous
Yeah.
Jewish
Okay,
festival Eid is
let's
tomorrow,
get done,
guys.
guys.
So remember to celebrate.
And he had to
Okay.
go anti-Semite
Okay.
finally. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, why not? I mean, you're done with Catholicism and Hinduism.
Sorry.
You've given Islam a free pass this time for whatever reason. That's left India does that. So you've done the right way for left India, and then you go for the Jews for no reason whatsoever. Well done,
That is-
Shri Ram. Well done.
Yeah.
Why didn't they call you
All right.
Arthur? What was your parents thinking? Why didn't you just get the name right? Chalo.
All right.
Okay, don't forget to download Jupiter.money on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. And if I have to
Yes,
say it one more time, I'm sure people will call up and say thanks.
Yes. Enough of that. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter, on Cyrus Says In. Or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the survey.
What is the workplace and how does your gender and body affect your right at work? Hey, I'm Priya Mirza, and on the Longest Constitution podcast, we critically examine the vision of the Indian Constitution and laws. In season 1, we looked at sex, gender, sexuality in India, and the landmark judgments which transformed our rights as citizens in this country. In season 2, we discussed the laws which shape the workplace and examine how ability, competence, and merit impact us, and much more. Join me, Priya Mirza, every Wednesday only on the IVM Podcast app, website, and all the major podcast streaming platforms.